Hi everyone, Thomas Desmond here, and today I want to talk about something new. I want to talk about a new Next.js project that I'm working on, talk about it publicly so I can get some accountability to finish it, and get feedback and insights from what you think. So, what am I working on? I'm building an app that will use every feature in Next.js. I'm talking about statically rendered pages, server rendered pages, dynamic page rendering, API routes, and all the other great Next.js features. From the initial build, I'm focusing on features that matter when building against a CMS like Sitecore XM Cloud or Content Hub 1. So for all the features I mentioned above, but also some big ones like image optimization and incremental static regeneration. But why? I'm not trying to build some to-do list app that crams every feature in just to use them. I want to build an app that isolates each feature, making it individually testable. Because I want to test hosting providers. We know about the big two hosting providers, Vercel and Netlify. They're both great. And I host most of my Next.js apps there right now with these two providers. Vercel, the company, is the maintainer and creator of Next.js, and their hosting is going to be top-notch. Still worth testing, though. And Netlify, I'm impressed with how well they keep up with the latest and greatest Next.js features without having that insider knowledge like Vercel. But hosting Next.js is not limited to those two providers. What about AWS Amplify, Azure Static Web Apps, Cloudflare Pages? There are great other options out there that may suit your needs. And may suit your needs, because I've found misleading, wrong, confusing documentation of what Next.js features, versions, architectures a hosting platform actually supports. Even if they do support Next.js, how well do they support it? So that's why I'm building this app that uses every Next.js feature. I want to create individual isolated pages that test a feature of Next.js so I can generate a report on what actually is supported and working on any given hosting provider. I've gotten a few easy features working and some more in development in my proof of concept app. I've even started creating some automated testing with Cypress, so testing a given hosting provider will be as automated as possible. Stick around to see what I've developed so far, learn how I intend to use the app and let others use the app, and at the end, I'll talk more about what's coming up next. All right, so let's take a peek at what I've been working on. This is my Next.js app, and I created it using Create Next App. If you notice, the features that I'm testing down here, get static props, get server-side props, those are only in the pages-based architecture. So this is a page-based app. I want to start with pages. That's what a lot of Sitecore people are developing on. That's where the JSS package is currently supporting. And even with hosting, I'm seeing a lot of hosting providers only support pages-based routing, or the pages-based architecture. I do plan on the future to hopefully expand this to be have a separate apps router architecture Next.js app. But right now, I wanted to focus in on pages. It's been around a little bit longer. There's still plenty of features to test there. There is some overlap of features as well. And how this app is intended to work is that each of these is a link to a page that is the isolated test of that feature. So get static props takes you to a page that specifically is testing the get static props feature in Next.js. So this is a statically generated page. And I'm expecting Charmander to show up here. If we go to the get server-side props, this is an SSR, or server-side rendered page, and I am expecting Charizard to be here. This was rendered on the server at request time. Image optimization, I can see that the next image package is working. I have the original image size of 154 kilobytes, and it has been optimized by Next.js to 55 kilobytes as well. So these are the types of features that I want to test on different hosting providers. And some of these ISR, that's working, I believe, but I'm not sure how well I'm testing it. API routes, I think that still needs to be worked on. And middleware redirect, that one I believe is working. The idea is that it's going to redirect you to a page with the status success if it is properly working. And I want to automate this testing as much as possible. So I do have this published out into GitHub. It's public if you want to check it out. The idea is that I'm going to publish this out to different hosting providers and then use Cypress to automatically test that these features are working. If I head over here into Cypress, I can see how I have all my different E2E tests. I have a specific file for each feature that I'm testing. I can run all 5 specs, and that's going to run up against my local host right now, not a production instance. Oop, this is a problem because if you see, sorry, we could not load deployed URL. The idea with the Cypress implementation is that I have the cypress config.ts, and inside of here, we have the URL that we want to test against. So in my case, I want to test against localhost. But if I were to deploy this to Vercel, Netlify, AWS Amplify, whatever URL that they give you to preview your application, you could stick that URL in here, and now Cypress will test against that production URL. So that's the idea here, where you can test against any hosting. If you just change this environment variable, it'll automatically start testing against that environment. heading back into Cypress. Hopefully we get a lot better results now that we're actually pointing at the correct URL. Tests are loading. Much better results. We're getting some green check marks. That's what we're expecting. We want this to start passing the test because on localhost, we do need them running, at least working there in localhost. And boom, we've got all green check marks right now. We've got ISR, Incremental Static Regeneration working, image optimization, middleware support, Git server-side props, and Git static props as well. So everything right now that I'm testing, I do think I want to improve how I'm testing these features in a bit, but that's something that I need to work on. Right now, I'm just trying to build out some of the features and start getting this testing, see if this can work, see if this project can go anywhere so that I could actually take this and do it against production instances and get good results, build good reports on what features are working for Next.js and different hosting providers. And I think long-term, I'd really like to see where this app can go. I'd really like to be able to test more features, have this be more automated, and have this really work for people where they can now have confidence in the hosting provider that they use, try it out with this application, be able to test out, are the features that you need working? Are they successful? Are they working in the version that Next.js that you need? Are they working in this isolated environment before you go building out a huge application just to find out that one special feature that you wanted isn't really working? So I really hope that this can build some more confidence in hosting providers, showing off what works, what doesn't work, and not just relying on the documentation that sometimes hasn't always been the best, unfortunately. Moving forward, though, I'd really like to know what features you are using in your Next.js applications. If you're building against a CMS like XM Cloud or Content Hub 1, what features are you using or what features do you think that you need the most that need to be tested for any hosting provider? Or what hosting providers are you considering using? Is there anything outside of AWS Amplify, Azure Static Web Apps, Cloudflare Pages that you might be considering? Let me know in the comments below because I want to make sure that I can test everything and that we are getting good results for around the board and not just leaving anyone out. But with that, if you like this content and if you want to keep up with future parts in the series, I think next up I'll either be building out new features or I might be trying out testing on a hosting provider. So subscribe and leave a like if you want to see that content. But with that, thank you for following along.